Bedlam broadcast. It's the last Bedlam for a while, Thomas. Mark
Yeah.
Rodgers, Thomas Lott here with you today. Landry Jones is with us remotely. And so we are looking forward to watching some of the Bedlam game today. We're going to have a lot of former Sooner legends check in with us today to watch this. And we're all kind of riveted right now by this Kansas State-Texas game.
Oh, definitely. I mean, they're out here. I'm about to see if they already missed one. How do you miss? I think I could have made a 7-yard field goal. I mean, goodness gracious.
Landry, you want to spoil it for us? Have they kicked it yet?
Oh, they haven't kicked it yet. I switched back to the OU game now. Now I'm going to switch back. Oh, he's going right now.
All right. You can do the play-by-play for us.
Oh, man. That's not my forte.
It's all you got to do is it's either good or no good. He made it.
He made it.
We're going overtime.
1 second,
Okay.
1 second left on the game clock, though. They're going to have to kick it.
That's been a wild game today. Texas really had some big plays in the first half, and they looked like they were kind of dominating. And then got a couple of turnovers in the second half, and Kansas State got right back in it.
Texas is kind of ruining it for us right now. They got to – what are we doing, guys? We got to beat Kansas State so we can have a chance to get in that playoff.
30-30. That was going to go to overtime, it looks like, unless something crazy happens. Let's talk about the game here today. Landry, what do you see as the keys in this game? Obviously, Ollie Gordon has been really, really good lately. Oklahoma needs to stop him, and I think force Oklahoma State's quarterback out of the pocket a little bit.
Yeah, I think when Dylan Gabriel is kept clean and we run the ball well, we got a good shot to beat anybody.
Thomas, what do you think?
Well, I definitely think we have an opportunity. We just can't do everything we did last week. I mean, we did everything you could possibly do to lose a game. 35-plus yards, penalties, turnovers, missed blocks, tackles that we're hitting people, but we're not wrapping them up. If we clean up those things, I have no doubt in my mind we can beat them. We're going to have to bottle up Gordon. We're going to have to bottle him up. We cannot let him get to the second level. We're going to have to tighten him up real quick.
Landry, what are some of your favorite memories about the Bedlam game?
Man, there was whenever I was playing it, it was always like us or Oklahoma State was pretty much winning the Big 12 at that point in time. So it was always the last game of the year and always a big game, and whoever won that was kind of going to the Big 12 championship. So those were always big time games for us.
Now, you're a native New Mexican. What was it like your first experience in that rivalry?
Oh gosh, I'm trying to even think who the Oklahoma State quarterback was. Well, my first Bedlam game was the game whenever Sam took off running. He got flipped upside down, and pretty much that slipped like the Heisman Trophy winner right there. So
right,
kind of got baptized, got into that sucker baptism by fire.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt about that. That's an iconic picture for sure. Yeah. Thomas, what was the difference for you with Bedlam and OU Texas? You're from San Antonio. That Texas game has a lot of intensity around it, but this Bedlam game has certainly been a rivalry from Oklahoma.
Well, for me, I didn't quite understand the Bedlam part of it because we had dominated them for so many years. But they did, when Terry Miller was there senior year, they beat us. We lost our whole secondary within 2 games. We lost to Oklahoma State. We lost to Colorado, scored like 24 against Oklahoma State. They threw a touchdown pass at the last few seconds that beat us. And then we go to Colorado and score 31 points, and Colorado does the same thing and beat us. But when it came to Bedlam, after they beat us that year, my sophomore year, I must say we put 120 on them the next 2 years.
Yeah, that's right. Those 2 games were pretty decisive in 77 and 78. That's for sure. I don't think I see a blowout today. However, I do like Oklahoma to win the game today. I think they can force the Cowboys to kind of become one-dimensional. It'll be curious to me to see. I mean, they don't have a lot of injury information on whether Danny Stutzman will play this week or Gentry Williams. Both guys, I mean, as good as anybody that they've got on defense in Norman.
Well, we definitely need Stutzman. I mean, he's a leading tackler on the defense. He's been leading the way. We need him to be in there if he's able to play, but if he's not 100%, he won't be the same player. You can play hurt, but what hurts you is you don't play 100%. You can't do it. At least he's not injured. We might could use him later on. Injured players, you don't know when they're going to come back. But I'm with you, Mark. I think if we play our best game or we play like we played earlier, we can bottle him up, make him pass the ball, and beat us in the air. If we just don't let them do what they do best, I think we have a much better chance of putting them down.
All right, we're almost ready for kickoff. Thanks for joining us. If you've got any questions, you can ask us here on the Sports Animal YouTube page. If you're watching on SoonersAccess.com, you can go to YouTube. You can also interact with us on Twitter, and we'd love to talk to you today during the game here as we are underway in Bedlam. This Choctaw Casino is fantastic.
Tell you what, Oklahoma State's viewings look pretty sharp, though, man. The black and the orange has always been a good look.
All right, the Cowboys have got it first.
Yeah, that tackling part of it, I'd like them to get lower. Trying to tackle up high. We're struggling trying to put people down.
All right, let's welcome in Tony Casillas to the broadcast. You can get up if you want. How you doing, Tony? All right, we'll try to get his mic working here just in a second. There's Ollie Gordon with the first carry for OSU.
Oh. Nice little timing route right there.
First down for OSU. Owens has been a pretty big part of their offense the last few weeks. OSU's down quite a bit at receiver. They've got a lot of injuries at that position.
Already, I'm not happy with that tackling. Yeah, we got there. We had three people there, but nobody just put him down. Let's wrap some legs up and let's end the play when you get there.
There's another catch for Owens.
Goodness gracious.
We're going to have a little, I think all our streams are going to be a little bit different. This guy is ahead of this guy.
When he first made his cut, I thought it was going over his head. I thought we had an interception there, but it was a nice one-handed catch.
I dropped one, incomplete. San Antonio.
They're not going to beat us throwing the ball. We have to force them to do something. They're just not very good at that.
Man, they are. Oh, come on, guys.
Get there, wrap him up. Oh, good blocks. Oh, my goodness.
Split the defenders. Nice move by Presley.
Yeah.
And then got faked out. Come on. Don't get blocked. I mean, you can't just run up and chest bump somebody. You got to use your arms and keep them off of you.
Second and 10. First time they got him behind the chains here.
Man, they just ran that right down our throats.
There's a big play by Ollie Gordon.
There it is. And you know why? Because of non-tackling. Right now, that's where we're suffering. We cannot tackle. We reverted back to the last few years.
Big run by Ollie Gordon. You know, Thomas, I mean, he reminds me, we're going to see Marcus here in a little bit. This is a lot similar to Marcus Dupree's freshman year in 1982, where didn't play in the first couple of games and that just cranked it up. I don't know that Ollie Gordon has the raw ability that Marcus did, but going for 270 back-to-back weeks is pretty good.
Very impressive, no question about it. Marcus was just a big boy. You know, Gordon's not as big as Marcus, but he has good feet, really good balance. I've seen him squeeze through some holes that most guys would be knocked over or slowed down. He has great balance, and he reads his blocks very well. So he's definitely everything I heard he was.
Landry, last week it seemed like a lot of running and not much passing. What do you think the adjustments will be this week? Will they let Dylan have a little bit more freedom to call some plays?
Yeah, I mean, last week might have been just like it was wet, it was nasty up there, so they were trying to run the rock. But hopefully this week, good weather, and I mean, if they keep running it like that, we're gonna have to score 50 to win. So we better open it up. On.
All right, let's bring in Tony Casillas with us. Hopefully we've got some audio issues worked out. Be patient with us. Tony, how you doing? We still can't hear you. Hold on just a second. We'll try to get that worked out. But that opening drive was a little bit disappointing for the Sooners so far. Let's take a break. Let's take a real quick commercial break. We'll try to get things worked out here. Sooners down 7-0 here at the Choctaw Casino in Durant. Stay tuned. It looked like Oklahoma State was definitely caught out of position. A lot of secondary guys kind of chasing him. Big block on the edge, though, to spring him.
Oh, it was a beautiful block. I mean, that's what I wanted to see our offensive linemen do the last couple of weeks. I mean, we have backs. Now, everybody's talking about, well, we don't have that great back, but how many people do have a great back? You can get away with it. If you have an average line and a great back, yeah, things are great. If you have a great line and an average back, yeah, things are going to work out. When they work together, we got an opportunity to make some special things happen, and that was a well-blocked play and a guy that had the speed to get to the end zone.
Landry, what'd you see on that?
Yeah, I like the play call, getting those guards out and pulling and getting people out in front of them. I just like, where was the rest? Where was the defense on there? Awesome play, and I totally agree. A great offensive line can make an average back look really, really good. So I'm like, man, get good big boys up front, and you can do a lot with an offense.
Landry, tell us a little bit about what you're doing right now. We know you played in the XFL for Coach Stoops there in 2020. What's going on?
Yeah, so did XFL for 2020, and then after that, I was like, man, I'm done and retired, and now into the gym industry. So I got a couple gyms, rock and rolling now, and getting those things going. Where me and Whitney are youth pastors as well, so kind of got our hands into a bunch of different stuff.
Who wins a game of horse between the two of you?
I haven't yet to beat her. I haven't beat her yet.
Yeah, she can fill it up. Definitely fill it up.
No question.
This is such a big day in college football. We got some great games. You got Alabama and LSU coming up tonight. You've got Arkansas going into overtime here with Florida. You had the Kansas State-Texas game going to overtime earlier today. So it's already been a wild and good day.
Did Texas end up winning?
I will have an answer there shortly for you. Texas won 33-30.
Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. We need them to keep winning.
Yeah, that's the second loss for Kansas State in conference. So that puts them really in a little bit of a bad spot for the conference championship game. I'll tell you what's interesting is the fact that Texas has got to go to Iowa State next week. If Iowa State somehow wins that game against Texas, that's 2 losses for Kansas State, 2 losses for Texas. Oklahoma State, if Oklahoma wins today, would have 2 losses. And Iowa State would still be tied with Oklahoma for the conference lead. Now, they got to beat Kansas tonight, but they've really bounced back this year and had a much better second half of the season.
Yeah, we want Texas to keep winning, though, man. If we get Texas wins out, we win out 2 one-loss teams in the Big 12 championship, and then something crazy happens in the Big 10 or something like that, then we got a shot to get in that CFP. Man,
Bowman's done a good.
That one guy.
Bowman, yeah, it's Owens is just all over the place. Bowman did a good job of rolling out there. Oklahoma, I think, wants to really make him move, not just stand back there in the pocket.
They have to. I mean, he's not going to beat us with his arm. He's not going to do that. They're not going to beat us. We're going to have to control that passing game and shut down that running game as much as possible. I mean, sometimes you get a really good back. Can't just like shut him down completely, but you can do something about how much he gains, and that's what we need to do. But I'm still not happy with the way we're attacking him. I mean, we're coming up and we're trying to tackle him high, and we need to put him down when they get there. Yak yards will kill us.
Got to kill that engine.
No Stutzman in there at linebacker.
Next man up.
My man's got like 7 catches already.
They're giving him a lot of really giving him a lot of space to operate.
I think we have a little fear when you come to him, trying to make sure they don't get beat.
There you go.
No, that's what I'm talking about right there.
We got a lot of people to the ball in that play.
Yeah, we got to surround. Everybody's got to get there. Can't let him get going.
Good tackle.
Got to take his legs away. Got to do that. Can't walk without him. He definitely can't run without him. Come on. Okay. He didn't grab it, but it took his legs away. Once we get there, we can't give him another yard.
I like that defensive call right there. A little double barrel. Puts a lot of pressure on the quarterback.
We have to.
Landry, what's that?
I like that.
Linebackers blitz.
Yeah, I like that defensive call, lining those two linebackers in the A gaps, going double barrel. Puts pressure on the protection. Got to get the ball out quick.
I think definitely pressuring the quarterback today is a big aspect of this game. And OU's got a hold or at least a potential stop here. Fourth down and 4.
You got to come back and reestablish. That's a touchback. Guy ran into the end zone. He didn't get his feet back out.
Yeah, we'll see if this one stands up. Boy, that was a great. Yeah, I'm not even sure he wasn't touching that ball with his feet in the end zone.
Yeah, I think his feet were in the end zone.
All right, let's take a quick time out here, and we will be right back with more 7-7. Oklahoma's going to get the ball. We'll see if it's on the 1 or the 20. All right, welcome back. Mark Rodgers, Thomas Lott here at Choctaw Casino in Durant. Landry Jones is with us. We're trying to work out some audio issues with Tony Casillas, and I think we have it done. Tony? Hey, Tony, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How you guys doing?
Love it. We got it. We're doing great. We're doing great. What are your thoughts so far in the game?
Well, it's kind of what you guys you alluded to earlier. It's all about Oklahoma State trying to pound the ball, and we saw what happened on that first play, and obviously in the first drive, and then Oklahoma comes back and gets the ball out on the perimeter. That's something Oklahoma's got to do in this game, but it's kind of what I anticipated. It's Oklahoma State wants to control the game. They want to run the football with their amazing running back, and so this is kind of going to be probably the narrative in this game.
Tony, what's been your impression of the defensive line this year? There's been a bunch of different guys rotating in, and for the most part, I think they've done a really, really nice job.
Yeah, I mean, I think they did. I think the depth has really been probably been the biggest thing for them, because I think when not really a dominating player per se, but I think collectively bringing guys off the bench and, in a defense like Brent Venables, where you want to be very active and do some things, it's good to have that depth. I think sometimes they're a little bit more vulnerable to run because of some of the slants and trying to be a little bit more active on the line of scrimmage. But so far, wasn't the best performance last week, but they made a lot of strides since last year. That's for sure.
Thanks for the text there, Tony. Somebody wishing you happy birthday.
Thank you.
Well, happy birthday, T. This is Thomas.
Well, hey, yeah, Thomas. Good to see you. Good to see. I think that's Landry Jones. Been a big fan of Landry. Obviously, Mark Rodgers. Thanks, Thomas. Yeah, hey, I'm just glad to be able to wake up and drink my coffee every morning and celebrate another day. So, kind of along with my little pug right there.
Good.
Well, hopefully the Sooners will give you a nice birthday, man.
It would be a nice belated birthday present. That's
I
for
heard
sure.
that.
Landry, I ask you, what are your impressions of Dylan? Been, I think, improved this year from where he was a year ago. A lot more effective.
Yeah, making a lot more plays from the pocket. Completion percentage is way up, I think, from last year, but he's doing a great job for us. Man, we just got to keep him clean, give him a good pocket, step up, and he can make some throws.
Cowboys got a sack there. OU's offensive line has done a pretty good job protecting him in the passing game this year. Led the league in sacks given up in conference play.
I really think, guys, this is what Oklahoma wants to do. They want to make Oklahoma State. They want to.
Yeah, big play.
There you go. I think my stream's a little ahead of you guys'.
Anderson kind of snuck out there to get wide open.
Yes, he was wide open. Like to see some more of that.
Isn't it amazing how it seems like this kid is always open? It's always like for this big chunk yardage.
Big plays, too. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Fumbled the ball. Gave it back to him.
Or what?
You can't have plays like that in a game like this. Being the last Bedlam game, we saw last week the penalties and turn it over 3 times. You just can't have these type of mistakes in this type of game.
I mean, at that point in time, when he snaps it to the back, just eat it. You're 1st and 10. You go to 2nd and 15. You still got a shot.
Yeah, that was just following the ball.
Yeah, just fall on it.
Live to another down.
The day.
Bad mistake.
Yeah, his turnovers are not last week were a big deal. Had a pick six. That's going to ask the defense an awful lot to go back there and get a stop here.
Hey, obviously it's easier said than done, but you would like to just make them one-dimensional and make, Oklahoma State throw the football so you can take advantage of that. But it's all about, you're stopping the run first and trying to make some big plays.
What do you think, Tony, about their tackling here lately? What do you think about it?
Well, the season started off, there was something that really was an emphasis on, Thomas, is to try to work on that. And really for the first few weeks of the season that they were really good at that. But the last couple of games, and certainly last week, kind of reared its ugly head. And again, against this type of running back who leads the Big 12 in missed tackles and yards after contact, you got to be sharp, you got to be concise, and you got to be in a position to make a play. I mean, that's all it comes down to.
Tony, how much of it is better competition as opposed to what OU was playing earlier in the year, or just wearing down on the season?
Well, I think it's a combination of both of those, Mark, because, there's a play right there. But I think it's a combination. I think it's easier to get up for big games, obviously, but I think you really tell what type of team is when they play – when they play down to, like last week against Kansas, teams are gunning for you. You got the target on your chest. Those are the games you got to play, be focused in and locked in. And, obviously it's just a mental focus. Stay locked in, know what you're doing, and be sharp. And that's kind of what, when it comes down to tackling, it's just being able to have an attitude and just being very, very confident in what you're doing.
Got a question for you. What's your best Bedlam memory, Tony?
Well, probably my best and worst would be the Ice Bowl back in 1985. Obviously, we won the game. That was, it was very symbolic. We had to win that game to go on to win the Big Eight, play for the national championship. But the elements were horrific. All you got to do is go look at the YouTube. The game, and it was a sheet of ice. There was nothing landing. It wasn't anything like Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh. You guys have equipment in Pittsburgh to move the elements off the field, but I mean it was just basically we're on ice skates, and it was we won, but man, I'll never forget that. I think every part of the human anatomy was frozen that day. It's a little bit too much information, but definitely that was a game I'll never forget.
Tony, you went up against some pretty good Oklahoma State teams. I mean, in the history of this rivalry, it's very lopsided. But in the mid '80s, Oklahoma State had some dudes on the other side of the ball.
Well, they did, and I think we like to have fun with the record, but some of those games were close games. We just kind of figured a way out to win the game, but. Yeah, I think, played against Thurman Thomas, their offensive line. Leslie O'Neal was a defensive lineman, was like one of the best, linemen in the conference, and went on to play for the Chargers. And but it was competitive. It was just all about just getting down to the fourth quarter and pulling out that Sooner magic and kind of putting them them in their place and find a way to win, and we found a way usually to win the game.
Now Landry was that 2013 game might have been colder than the Ice Bowl up there.
Yeah, no, that was behind. That was a little past my time. My last year.
Yeah, you're 2012 last year.
Yeah, last year 2012.
Landry said he was comfortable wherever he was.
I was
Landry wasn't even
70 degrees,
back when
but
I played.
I think it was 8 that day at Stillwater. Cowboys got a first down there on a fourth down conversion.
There's nothing more that'll piss you off as a quarterback getting a 4th down conversion right there. Wow, what a catch.
Landry, let me ask you this. It seems like this is the narrative for 4th and 3 and 4th and 5. And so is there any added pressure on you as a quarterback to lock in, or is it easier? I always like the dynamic. It seems to me it's kind of a high-risk play.
Honestly, on 4th and 5, it's just kind of like, hey, I got to get it to somebody. We got to get a first down. In worst-case scenario, I'm throwing, if no one's open, I'm going to try to throw something down the field and treat it as a punt.
Yeah, that's the interesting part of philosophy because a lot of times,
Hey, worst case, I'm going to chunk it down the field. Our guy makes a play, great. He doesn't. Interference, something, and then they pick it off. We're trying to down him before he gets back in line of scrimmage.
Cowboys are on the move here after an OU turnover.
There you go.
So, guys, I got to apologize. I'm watching my app TV, and I think you guys are like I think I'm on like an 8-second delay. So,
well, Landry's got the best TV. He's a little ahead of both Thomas and I. So we just reacted off his reaction.
Okay. I'm not spoiling every play.
That technology not quite there yet completely. That is the end of the first quarter. Hey, guys, great to see you. Thanks for joining us today on Sooners Access, and great catching up with both of y'all. We appreciate it very much.
Take care, gentlemen.
All right, we'll see y'all.
Yep. Bye.
Tony Casillas, the great Tony Casillas, and Landry Jones join us. We'll take a break. Trevor Knight's going to be with us on the other side. Stay tuned here to Sooners Access from Choctaw Casino in Durant. All right, welcome back here to Sooners Access. Alan Bowman just ran 13 yards for a touchdown for Oklahoma State to give the Cowboys a lead. They take advantage of that turnover. I am joined by Marcus Dupree here in Durant. What's up, Marcus?
Thank
Good
you,
to
man.
see you.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, great. Trevor Knight is also with us, joining the program. How you doing, Trevor?
Hey guys, doing pretty well. Second quarter starting here, but so far so good.
What are your thoughts on the game so far?
And I think we need to play a lot better on crucial downs, right? They've converted several third downs. They had the fourth down there at the end of the first quarter, and then just eliminating the big plays. I know this offense has, speaking of the Oklahoma State offense, right? They have the ability to hit the big play. We've got to eliminate that. And then dumb mistakes on the offensive side. I thought we did an incredible job when we were backed up in our own end zone, getting a first down there, and the fumbled snap. So we just got to play a little bit cleaner, settle in. I know it's a hostile environment, but let's take a deep breath. We got to go respond here and try and tie this ball game up.
We got a question for you already here on the line. It says, since you played at A&M, who's got the best environment in the SEC? You looking forward to Oklahoma joining that league next year?
There's a lot of great venues in the SEC.
Yes, indeed.
I will say my two favorite places to play was at Auburn. Really cool atmosphere night. And the home and home we had with Oklahoma when we went to Elan and played Tennessee. I think Tennessee is an incredible place to play as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good venues. Oklahoma next year will be going to LSU, which will be a tough game. Also Auburn on next season's schedule for the road games for Oklahoma.
Yeah, never got to play at LSU, guys. Certainly one that I heard is awesome. Got to play in Brighton. It's daunting, mostly just because of the recent history, all the pregame videos that are nothing but footage. But wasn't overly impressed with just the loudness, the game day atmosphere, all that compared to some of the others, right? It's great, don't get me wrong, but not my favorite. I'll tell you another place. I'll compare it to a Kansas State, right? I think Manhattan gets rocking even at 11 o'clock. South Carolina, same thing. Got to play up there at 11 o'clock game, and they do sandstorm right before kickoff, and that place gets popping. So that'll be a fun one too.
K-State has got a really good tailgate atmosphere outside the stadium, and it's got, since they've really just kind of recently had success in the last 20, 25 years, they got a pretty young fan base, so they get after it a little bit, like you said. They're not afraid to show up at 11 o'clock and do a little partying.
That's right.
For the game.
That's right.
I got to ask you, Marcus. This back Ollie Gordon, he's on a little bit of a run similar to your season in 1982,
yes,
where he didn't get to play very much at the beginning of the season, or he wasn't getting the ball very much. In the last couple of weeks, he's gone for 270 on the ground. And the week before that, 170 and about 80 yards of receiving.
Well, I hadn't really watched Oklahoma State this year.
Yeah,
but I know Melvin Gilliam, they're always state guys, so they were really talking about him. I hadn't seen the kid play until now. And he looks pretty good. He's like a slash, maybe a little slasher. Not really. I don't see him being that fast though.
That's what I said. If there was a race, I think that no matter how many yards he piles up, you're going to outrun him.
Yeah, I get it. I'm not even getting right now.
Hey, Mark, it's not quite well, but best attribute.
You're cutting out a little bit, Trevor. We can't hear you. Hold on. We'll hopefully get a little bit better audio from you in a second. So OU's got it back here. Facing about a second down and 7. Sawchuck is getting a lot of the carries today. Marcus, what do you think about him?
I like him, but he looks a little slower than the normal backs we've been having. He broke out on that long.
I mean, he did. He almost looked like he was pulling some weight. I mean,
exactly.
But he is he's a track guy, a 60-meter track guy. So nobody was catching up to him, but it did look like he wasn't moving maybe as fast as we thought.
I don't know. Maybe he's got the illusion. I mean, people say I couldn't run, so maybe it's elusive. Maybe I don't know.
No, he's a fast guy that usually hits the hole pretty well, but that play was blocked up pretty good. Taco got a block outside, and really there wasn't any Oklahoma State defenders that could do much of anything to catch up with it. Big run for OU so far. And as a matter of fact, this season, I think that, the running game has struggled quite a bit. Oklahoma's only had, that might be the third play of the season, over 20 yards for a running back.
Are you kidding me?
No, on a rush. They just have not had the breakaway ability.
Wow. I hadn't watched the Sooners that much this year. My grandson plays in Mississippi, so I haven't been able to watch. But I just can't believe that's the longest run we had this year.
Yeah, that's definitely the longest one of the season. Tell us about your grandson. Where's he playing?
He plays down in Mississippi Gulf Coast. He's a sophomore this year. He's number 3 receiver in the country. He runs a 4.3. Only thing, he's 5'10". He didn't catch my side of the DNA, where my son is 6'2". Right. And his mom is 5'10". So he caught his mom, but he can play. He catches everything. He's looking good. And today he's recruited. He's at Jackson State today. So.
Okay, great. That's fantastic. Got a timeout here for an injured Oklahoma State player. Trevor, all right. Trevor, we got you back?
Yeah, can you guys hear me okay?
Perfect. That's much better. Yes.
Gotta love technology, right?
I know. Yeah. Hey, what are your thoughts on the game so far today? Texas pulled one out against Kansas State. That one was wild, going back and forth.
Yeah, that's 2 games now. You flash back a couple weeks ago to the Houston game where, horrible spot, and Texas goes on to win that one. And now the missed chip shot field goal today that gives them another win. And you know what? Good teams find a way to win. I do believe Texas is a good team. Personally, I would have loved to have seen them drop that one, of course.
Yeah, it's hard to know what to root for. Anyway, you got a 5-way tie in the Big 12 today going into the game.
Exactly.
You got Texas, Kansas State, Oklahoma State, Iowa State, and Oklahoma all with 1 loss. I guess now we can give Kansas State their second, but it's going to be wild. I think the next few weeks to see who goes to play at Arlington.
So, Mark, who we got left? Kansas State.
Oklahoma doesn't play Kansas State. The next few games for Oklahoma is West Virginia at home, at BYU, and TCU at home. I mean, OU's going to be favored in all those games.
Yeah,
those are games that they should win.
We need to win all 3, really.
Yeah.
Got to win all 3. And, we were going to be favored after the first couple of weeks. I think we've been favored in every game so far, haven't we, other than Texas?
Yes.
So it's just about taking care of business, guys, right? We still have all of our hopes, goals, and dreams out there ahead of us. We just got to take care of business week by week. And I'll say this. I said this earlier this week. It's going to be more of the leaders in this locker room stepping up after that heartbreak last week to get this team rocking and rolling. You get on the plane, Lawrence, Kansas, and you're 7-0. You're ranked in the college football playoff rankings. You got everything out there dangling in front of you, and then you drop one like that. You can go one of 2 directions, and the coaches are going to do everything that they can to get the team back on track. But it's really those senior leaders and those leaders on the team that say, hey, everything's still out there. Let's take a deep breath. Let's go to Stillwater and take care of business. Then we'll work on the next week.
Yep, 1 play at a time, baby. 1 play at a time.
Trevor, what are your memories of this rivalry?
And there's a lot of fun memories. My best friend from high school, who's got a great story, but he went to Oklahoma State. So I ended up crossing paths with all those guys when we were playing. And my true freshman year, Brennan Clay ran it in, as time expired there in overtime, and we won and did the whole lap around Owen Field and just went crazy with the crowd. That was awesome. My redshirt freshman year, I started the first half and then got hurt. Blake Bell comes in and throws the corner route. I'll never forget the play. It was called under wide corner cake through the corner to Jalen Saunders in the end zone. That propelled us to go play Alabama in the Sugar Bowl. Then the next year, heartbreaker, Tyreek Hill returns one on us, on a re-kick, and we lose Bedlam at home. And then my last year at OU, Baker and Samaje and Joe Mixon, we go up to Stillwater and get to hoist the Big 12 championship trophy. So a lot of fun. It's heated, and there's nothing better.
I asked Landry about that game in Stillwater in 2013 where you got hurt, man. That was so cold. one of the colder games that Oklahoma's played in a long time.
So you guys remember, and we talk about it all the time, one of my best friends in the world and our holder, Grant Bothan, threw his only pass of his career on the fake field goal to Michael Honeycutt. So he's 1 for 1 with a touchdown. But he was so cold in between plays that he was standing, basically almost sitting on top of the heater. Now, that heater, it's got the coils, right? And so he was so close to this thing, his shoe was untied, and his place got in there. Next thing you know is he looks down and his shoe's on fire. So he
You got a hot foot.
And then he goes in and throws a touchdown pass.
Yeah,
Is that the game? Can it snow a little bit?
It was. Yeah, I think it was snow and ice and all of it up there. It was incredibly cold. Yeah.
My parents got in the car on Friday afternoon to drive to Oklahoma City, as they typically would for a game. They were going to stay in Oklahoma City, wake up in the morning and go up to Stillwater. Well, because all the roads were iced over all through Texas, they were coming from Mexico. It took them 22 hours to get up to Stillwater. And they didn't sleep, went straight to the stadium. And they may have had a couple of adult beverages, themselves warm in the stands.
That's some dedication. Yeah, that's not optimal travel situation. I had talked to Bob, Coach Stoops, earlier in the week, and he had said, that, when that game, the injury situation was really bad. He said he had to go over and look at Blake Bell, and he's like, "Are you good? Are you ready to go?" And he said Blake got a big old smile and came in the game and then did throw the game-winning touchdown pass on that day. And he has had a pretty successful career still working for the Kansas City Chiefs.
No doubt. Yeah, Blake's an ultimate competitor, always ready when the game was called. And, he had that sort of experience the first couple of years of his career where he's standing on the sidelines as cold as could be. They call in the Belldozer package, and he goes in there and scores a bunch of touchdowns. So he was always ready for the ball. He came in and played great. You don't talk about much. Actually, going into that game, third on the depth chart, because we thought, hey, running type quarterback would be a better position. So Kendall throws a pick and decides to put Blake. A big win for
We're losing you a little bit. Hey, Trevor, thanks for your time today, man. We know you're watching the game. We appreciate it. We look forward to catch up with you soon.
Remember Sooner, guys.
All right, thank you. That's Trevor Knight, Oklahoma Sooner quarterback. Let's take a real quick break. We'll come back. We'll catch you up on what's going on. We got more guests coming up a little bit later on today. Stay tuned here. You're watching Sooners Access on thesportsanimal.com. Sorry.
Well, right now we just I'm with Trevor on. We got to stop the big play. They nitpicking us down the field. We got to come up with a big play on defense, a turnover or something. Right now they got the momentum going. We just got to stop it. To me, we're not getting any pass rush. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, Alan Bowman's had a really good day so far. He's thrown for 147. I thought the key going into the game would be to stop Ollie Gordon. OU's done fairly well at that.
Right.
But they have not been effective with the pass rush, as you said, or being able to stop Bowman from throwing the ball.
We need one. I think we need a big play here before the half.
Especially with them in scoring position here again.
Exactly. Come on, make something happen. Make it.
Don't know if he's still in the pocket or not, but that's at least a stop and at least a force for Oklahoma State to kick a field goal here.
Exactly. And that's a win for us. Because we didn't need them to jump up 21-7.
Alex Hale's been pretty good for Oklahoma State kicking this year. Snaps a little high.
That's a win. That's a win for the defense.
Hold them to 3 points. Oklahoma's offense is struggling a little bit. We'll take a break. We'll come back when they resume play here in the second quarter. Oklahoma State on top of the Sooners 17-7. Welcome back here to Sooners Access in Durant. Mark Rodgers, Marcus Dupree joining you. And just talking on the broadcast, Oklahoma's only run 14 plays so far in this game. The Oklahoma State defense is playing pretty good.
They playing pretty good. Matter of fact, they're playing real well. We hadn't had a big play yet.
Just the one from Sawchuck, but it's been consistency has been really it's not been there.
Yeah.
Big play there by Dylan. Getting the ball outside of Farouk. We were talking here during the break about some other games, big games coming up today. What do you think about LSU and Alabama tonight?
Well, I think, I live down that way, and I've been watching my son play at Alabama. My neighbor's son played at Alabama. I know that when you give Nick Saban 2 weeks to prepare for you, it's going to be kind of tough.
Yeah.
But, they got a running quarterback, and that's what hurt us last week.
Yeah, Daniels at LSU is really good. I don't know what's been going on with LSU's defense this year. They normally would have better players on that side of the ball, but they've given up a lot of points. So you got one team that's really good on defense in Alabama, and I think that Alabama struggled a little bit on offense this year. But LSU's defense giving up a ton of points, but Jaden Daniels, one of the better quarterbacks in the country.
Yeah, he's going to keep him in the game, no doubt.
Oh, you picked up a big first down there.
Yeah.
Big catch. Man, Drake Stoops is really good.
Yeah, he's come along a long way. A long way. He's been a player, but this year he's been a player.
Yeah. I know they trust him to get open on those plays, and he doesn't drop many. Get it out to him again. Look at him make those guys miss.
Yes, sir.
So you were telling me earlier, you think kind of like your thought process on this. Missouri maybe have a chance to knock off Georgia today?
I think they do. That was my pick last week on a radio show back home. I said Missouri might be the trap game for Georgia. If they can keep it close.
It's close right now. Missouri got the ball in the Georgia red zone, trailing only 10-7. Going to speak with Brian Bosworth here in a few minutes. We'll talk to him. Check in a little bit later on with Mark Clayton, Cale Gundy, and get their thoughts on the game. But this has been a big drive for Oklahoma. That third down conversion to keep the ball is big.
We need to score before the half.
Other games going on today, of course, Texas was able to beat Kansas State in overtime in a wild game that went back and forth. Baylor and Houston, 7-6. Baylor just scored pending the extra point there, and UCF is beating up on Cincinnati 14-3.
Mark, what do you think about us going to the SEC? What are your thoughts?
I'm fired up about it. I love those venues and the environments in the SEC. Oklahoma's played in a few of them here recently. Went to Alabama early in the 2000s.
Played at Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've not been to LSU.
I had neither.
I have not been to Florida.
Not that
Auburn,
place either.
But I've been to quite a few of those games. Went to the Alabama game when Oklahoma played there early on. I think it's even cool to play Texas A&M again.
Yeah.
It's kind of a good rival, short road trip for Oklahoma fans to go on, and I'm looking forward to it. Fired up about the SEC.
Well, I want to see Ole Miss. See us when we play Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Get a chance to walk through the Grove. and that environment is different too. It's definitely different.
I've not been to the Grove, but I hear great things about it. What can you tell me?
A couple of homeboys, they played at Ole Miss, and they was like, Marcus, I've never been to the Grove before a game, so I'm anxious to go see it. So
yeah. No, the OU's road schedule next year is great.
Yeah.
They knock off those 3 venues right there.
Right.
LSU, Auburn, and Ole Miss.
My little cousin is the running back down there at Auburn, Jaquez Hunter.
Okay.
He's from Philadelphia, and I'm anxious to see him run against – if he doesn't come out, because he may come out this year, but
yeah,
I think he might need to stay one more year.
Auburn's up 14-0 on Vanderbilt right now. Vanderbilt, not a great football program, but never a bad time in Nashville.
Yep,
not a good place to go to.
That's true.
Pittsburgh has jumped out on top of Florida State 7-0. That can get loud there in Stillwater, definitely. Looks like Sawcheck got it.
Let's go.
Wide open. Stoops got wide open on that play.
We needed that.
Stoops is having a really, really good day. Got him in the backfield.
Nobody sure did. Nobody accounted for him.
That's a big play, again, especially since you're facing a third down. Hadn't converted a first down on the drive yet, and Oklahoma was able to get that first down and then go down the field.
Yes, it did.
Missouri tied it up against Georgia 10-10. 4:14 to go in the first half there. We got some offense in this game today, maybe a little bit more than I thought we would have. I mean, Oklahoma State's kind of throwing the ball at will.
They are.
Let's take a break, and I think we're going to be joined by the Boz here in just a second. We'll get his thoughts on what's going on in the first half. Oklahoma extra point coming up. Try to get within 3 here at 17-14. Brian? Hold on. Hopefully you got the Boz here pretty quick. There he is.
Hey, guys.
What's up, Boz?
Just watching in frustration. It's Bedlam.
What are your thoughts so far in the game?
Say that again.
What's going on? What are your thoughts so far? Oklahoma, the big drive there to get within 3.
Man, you're cutting in and out. Give me that one more time.
Yeah, well, hold on. We'll try to let's try to get Boz here in a second. We'll work. Let's see. Hopefully, we can get him back here. Oh, you got an incompletion there early.
Let's go get some pass rush. Oh my God.
They're going to throw that out of bounds. That's still a big play for OU there.
Yeah.
Going to force a potential punt. Trace Ford with a big play.
I didn't realize the side. Look at the side. I've never been there.
No, it's so close. Yeah, there's just not any room to operate there on the sideline. Let's try Boz one more time. Brian, hopefully this is a little bit better. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you fine now.
Good. So far, Oklahoma, that's a big drive to get back in within 3 here.
Yeah, I mean, it was desperately needed. I mean, we sabotaged two of our first 3 drives. I know our offense is predicated on scoring fast, but if we can't slow them down on defense, we're going to be in some big trouble today. They're coming out. They're doing a lot of play action and then quick passes to get the ball out of the quarterback's hands. Quick nullifies our pass rush.
What's the environment like there?
Well, it's too much orange for me, but that last drive made it look like the Crimson stood up a little bit. So I think if we can get into an offensive rhythm and possess and sustain some drives, we might be able to get the ball or get some momentum. But we got to possess the ball. Prior to that last drive, we only had the ball for 4 minutes and 40 seconds. That's not enough time. We got to possess the ball a lot longer than that.
Oh, good play.
Yeah, so far,
get up the
got
field.
a nice pass there, Oklahoma into OSU territory. Boz, we'll check in with you a little bit later. We'll let you enjoy that up there.
All right, brother.
Okay. Brian Bosworth, Oklahoma's moving the ball. This game has had a lot of shifts in momentum so far.
Yeah. Right now, momentum is on our side, so let's keep it moving. We got what? 53 seconds, 50-something seconds left?
5 minutes. 5 minutes.
5 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I can't see from the side.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to score. We need to score here on this drive.
Defense has gotten a couple of stops back to back. Let's take a break here. We'll come back. We got much more coming up here from the Choctaw Casino. Marcus Dupree, Mark Rodgers here on Sooners Access. Welcome back here to Sooners Access at the Choctaw Casino in Durant. Missed field goal, Marcus. It was close.
Very close.
Like
I thought it went through, but it's by inches. This game is, they said this game is won by inches. So
yeah, and that gives Oklahoma State really good field position here outside the 30-yard line. That's good defense right there. Really good defense. That's a Gentry Williams missed him last week. He did not play. He's a really good player.
Okay. Two minutes left. 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Ooh, interception would go good right here, right now.
Yeah.
Pick six. Pick six.
Yeah, I'd throw it away and force another punt. That's 3 pretty good defensive series in a row.
Defense playing well. Everybody's locked up, sure is.
Take a look at some of these numbers. Bowman's thrown it 24 times. Ollie Gordon's rushed 14 times for 47 yards. So Oklahoma's done a really nice job on him. Dylan Gabriel, 13 of 16 for 174 yards. That's
not bad.
That's really good. Drake Stoops got 5 passes for 54. Jaleel Farouk, 5 passes for 47.
Put together a good drive right here.
Field goal kicking has been a little bit of an issue for Oklahoma this year. It's not been quite as good as they've been used to.
Yeah.
Good defense. Pretty good defense right there.
Oh, come on. I think we could have got a little flag right there.
Yeah, that looked like it was, to me, not the best call. Need another 3rd down conversion.
Oh!
Looked like that was close.
That was close. 1:37 left.
Wow, he had his man beat.
He had him beat.
You have to think about coming back to that later on in the game because that definitely was there.
Yeah. The receiver should have plucked it out of the air. He shouldn't have just waited to get up on him. He should have plucked it out of the air.
We'll take a timeout here. We'll come back and we'll have Oklahoma State's drive here right before the half. See if the Sooners can come up with another big stop. Welcome back here to the Choctaw Casino in Durant. Oklahoma State's got it. First down and 10, 57 seconds to go. It's been a weird first half. I think there's a lot of momentum has really shifted back and forth.
Back and forth.
Teams, it's about as even statistically as the score.
Yeah.
So far.
Who gets the ball second half first?
Man, I you know what? I wish I could remember the beginning of the game who had it first. I think Oklahoma State had it first.
Oh, yeah.
Went down the field and scored, but both teams using some of their timeouts here. After seeing the first half, what do you think the keys are for the second?
We need some big plays. We need on defense. We need to. We've been playing this first half. We started playing better. I think we need more pass rush. It seems like the defensive backs are covering their guys in the backfield. We need some big plays. I want to, at the beginning of the year, like the Texas game, when we were throwing bombs, let's have a couple of big plays and blow this thing out.
Yeah, that last drop by Anderson really hurt. I mean,
exactly.
He was there behind the defense.
Get the running game going a little bit too.
Statistically, Oklahoma has not run it that many times. 12 rushes for 77 yards, and all of that came on one play.
Come on.
A little bit of a rush there.
That's what we need.
96 rushing yards for Gavin Sawchuk, but everybody else, Dylan Gabriel took a sack. Drake Stoops got pinned up on a little reverse, and then Javante Barnes fumbled and lost 9 yards. A little miscommunication between he and Dylan Gabriel. So really, it's been the one Sawchuck play and a lot of Dylan Gabriel passing.
That's it. We need the OC to come out with some bag of tricks.
41,
second half.
41 plays for Oklahoma State so far to 30 for OU. Good coverage. Another big third down. See if the defense can get a stop here.
Good job.
See what the Cowboys want to do here.
Bowman's hurt.
Gordon is
It's Gordon or
Gordon.
Gordon.
I don't know if he got hit on the hand or what. I couldn't see, Marcus, what happened.
I didn't either. It's this crowd. I don't know if somebody fell on him.
I don't know if it's a hand or a leg or what. Looks like he's going to be okay. Let's see here. Just kind of fell a little awkwardly.
Yeah. We played against Ernest Anderson my freshman year.
Ernest Anderson was a good player?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think when he came to us, when we played him, he had over 2,000 yards or something.
Yeah.
But he only had 59 yards against us.
This is kind of like the Hail Mary in the 1990 OSU. They run it down and they can throw a Hail Mary potentially into the end zone.
Two seconds on the clock before the half.
Yep.
Please knock this ball. Do we have it? They got it.
Oklahoma State's got it. All right, we'll take a halftime break. We'll come back in the third quarter. Cale Genny's going to join us. We'll check in again with Brian Bosworth and have more. This game looks like it's going to go to the wire. Should be a good one. Welcome back. We're here at Choctaw Casino in Durant, Oklahoma State. Got a big play to a guy out of the backfield deep in Oklahoma territory. 2 turnovers for OU. Dylan Gabriel just threw a pick. Thomas, let's welcome in Cale Gundy here. Cale, what's up, man? How are you doing?
I'm doing good, fellas. How you guys doing?
Doing good, Cal. Doing good, but I don't think our team's doing all that great.
Well, Thomas, it seems like that OU has kind of settled down a little bit, especially on the defensive side. It seemed like they started to kind of figure out exactly what Oklahoma State wants to do. So we'll see going into the second half how it looks.
What are your thoughts so far? Oklahoma bounced back a little bit on offense. They're certainly throwing the ball a lot more today than they did last week.
Yeah, no doubt. And I'm, again, it's really even, about 250 yards apiece for both sides of the ball for OU and OSU. Again, you had that one turnover. It just seems like that OU's defense has really kind of settled in a little bit, and it may be getting a little tough on Oklahoma State here in the second half.
Are you impressed with the way that Bowman's playing today?
I am. He's playing solid. Mark, he gets pressure inside. What does he do? He scrambles outside, and everybody knows that. He doesn't like to step up in that pocket. That's just who he is. That's just how he plays. But they were doing some RPOs in the first quarter, and I thought they were kind of onto something, but they've kind of gotten away from it a little bit. But again, those DBs are playing tight coverage out there, and they're going to make it hard on them for Oklahoma State throwing the football.
Any other observations, Cal? What Gentry Williams is back there today. No Danny Stutzman. I think Lewis has played pretty good. Yeah,
those young guys are, they're coached by the head coach, Brent Venables, those young linebackers. So, he's with those guys quite a bit. They look like they're stepping up and playing well. Gentry Williams is making some plays over there. I just think, again, it's going to come down to maybe a turnover or two, one way or the other, and especially also your third downs. Who can convert on third down? Who can get off the field on third down?
Yeah, OU's they did a pretty good job on third down in the second quarter, but sustaining drives has been a little bit of an issue for OU so far today. So, great. We will let you go, Cal. We appreciate your time.
All right. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
All right,
Kel.
Kel Gundy. We'll take a break here with you. Timeout on the clock in Stillwater, Oklahoma, trailing Oklahoma State 17-14. All right, welcome back, Thomas. This is a big play here in the game. 4th down and 1. I don't think he got it.
I don't think he got it.
Nope, Sooners get the stop.
It didn't look like he got it. The defense is playing so much better tonight, or today, I should say. It's not night yet. They really are playing better. Our kicking game, though, goodness gracious, we got to be able to make some field goals when we need to, and we're struggling.
We get a text here from Sanaka Edwards. Says, think Lincoln hurt OU before he left a lot more than the university will admit. I'm surprised Brent has recovered as much as he has this year. It certainly has been a lot better defensive team in the last 2 years, and there's been improvement on both sides of the ball, I think, this season.
I don't know. I listen to what people say about Lincoln hurting the team. I just don't see it. I just don't see him that he's destroyed the University of Oklahoma. We weren't that good of a defensive team when he was here.
Right.
You know, we really weren't. And yes, Brent came in, and I've seen some tackling in the open field. Now, the last few games, they've kind of digressed, but I'm starting to see them do what they need to do and what I saw early in the year. But yeah, offensively maybe, but other than that, we're not a bad offensive team.
No. Dylan Gabriel's had a really good game today as well. Got plenty of time there. Good game.
Yeah, we can't afford to turn the ball over anymore. That's twice we've done that. We can't keep doing that. We're starting to play better on defense. Let's get in the end zone. We know now we can't really depend on our field goal kicking.
Right.
So we have got to get the ball in the end zone. All right, what's the flag about? Okay.
On Oklahoma State.
All right.
They're going to have to review this. Let's take a break while we review this penalty here. 17-14, Oklahoma State over Oklahoma. All right, welcome back. I don't know how you review a play that long just determine whether there's not 11 or 12 guys on the field, but
I don't even remember what they were reviewing now.
It's been tough for Oklahoma to get the rushing consistency today. Big play, one big play, but not much consistency.
Now what?
Sawchuck got 115 yards rushing. Right now, total yardage is even at 307 apiece.
Wow.
First downs are even at 15 apiece.
What does Gordon have?
Gordon, 102. His numbers cranking up there. Good defense.
Really good defense. I hear a lot of talk about play calling, and
yeah,
I've been offensive coordinator, and I believe most offensive coordinator are trying to get touchdowns. I mean, every play I called, I expected us to score, but I'm seeing some things that I'm really concerned about. You know, we don't stretch the field like I'd like to see them stretch the field.
That's a good run.
That's one way to get it done.
Howie Walker.
I was concerned about him. I sure wish he was going to play, and he did.
Dalen Smothers also been in the game too. But that's a big play for the Sooners.
Yes, it is. It is. Right now, Walker is my number one running back. After last week and this week.
21-17. Defense has really done a good job here in the second half. We'll take a
They
break.
really
We'll come
have.
back. A big drive and score for Oklahoma here. This is a great catch.
Yeah, it definitely is. Not many people can make that catch. That's beautiful. You have to admire that no matter what team you root for.
Owens has had a good day today.
Yes, he has. Started off. Didn't he catch the first pass?
Yeah. He caught several of a few passes, but this game's momentum has just swung back and forth and back and forth all day.
I kind of expected that though, Mark. I mean, I felt like both of them were in a place at this time of the year where they would be back and forth. They'd both have success.
Gordon has had that one big run for a touchdown in the first half, but he is having to earn his way so far today.
Which makes me happy.
$22nd carry of the game.
There we go.
Stockwing's been pretty good here today. They just slow that play down.
They picked it up since that first quarter because they weren't tackling like I really expected them to or wanted them to, and I'm sure Brent wanted them to tackle a little better. They're starting to do that. They're getting back to the early in the year.
That's Kip Lewis there with the tackle. He's playing a really good game today in for Stutzman.
Really, really is.
See if the Sooners can get another fourth down stop here. They got him again. Wow, big stop.
Nah, they didn't wrap his legs up. Somebody's got to wrap his legs up. That's just trying to go strength to strength. See, just wrap his legs up. Stop trying to wrestle. You know?
Yeah, he did a good job of keeping those legs going.
Yeah, and his lineman got to back him up and push him forward. Somebody got to wrap his legs up. And that's the part that I say they don't want to get dirty. And this is a game where you have to get dirty from time to time. And I mean uniform needs to be on the ground. That's what I mean by dirty.
Two big stops there for OU.
Good fighting up front. Good fighting up front.
Gabriel got hit from the backside on that play. Running back missed a block there.
Hey, as they say, sometimes quarterback get credit you deserve, and sometimes you get blame you don't deserve.
Right.
That's part of it. This right here for me is just, you're just looking for somebody to step up there and intercept it. All this across the field, 1 yard passing game. I'm not with that as much as OU does it.
He broke some play. Look, that was a nice run to get the first down.
Walker proved to me a couple of games ago, he's a gamer. If you put all their running backs together, you got one great one.
Yeah.
Offensive line, that's who got to get credit for making the running backs who they are.
Nice play. Pick up 6-7 yards. We'll take that.
Yes, we will. Yeah, let that offensive line go to work. Let them go to work. Make those safeties step up a little bit, and then you can get behind them. He runs so strong. Center of gravity, close to the ground, hard to tackle.
Oklahoma offensive line is starting to have some
Yes,
success
they
in this
are.
game.
I fully agree, Mark. That's what I wanted to see last week and this week. For them to be a champion team, they need to be able to, when they say it's time to run, they need to put their hands down and go to work. Now, I understand the tackles these days don't mostly do that, but I've seen some teams that do have the ability to do that. Oklahoma State will put their tackles, they'll put their hands down and go after you.
I think that's been a little bit of what their change has been on offense, is that they have really gone away from kind of some of the ride and decide stuff and more just fire out.
The RPO stuff.
Yeah.
It's much better when your offensive line know exactly who they need to block. Your running backs know exactly where the lanes are, and your quarterback doesn't have to make so many decisions every play. With everybody jumping around, trying to confuse him, hand the ball off, and sometimes let your big people and your running backs, your ball carriers, let them get some of that work. Let them help out. Goodness gracious.
Penalties have been a problem.
Yeah, like last week, penalties and turnovers. That's why we lost to Kansas.
And you don't want to have to try to settle for a field goal here, like you mentioned with the field goal kicking struggled some.
They proved last week. That's what I mean. They did everything possibly do to lose a game. You know, it's not that the other team beats you. It's the things you do to get yourself beat.
Oklahoma averaging almost 7 yards a rush today, which is pretty good. That ball's overthrown a little bit.
That was ugly. I do not think our passing game, I should say, I do believe our passing game needs a little more, how do I want to say this?
Speed?
No, just design. I think they need to be designed better than what we have.
It was a good play to get it out of there.
Let me tell you, goodness gracious. We need a first down, though.
This is definitely a go for it here, right? Go for it territory.
Absolutely. I'm with you on that. I play to win. I don't play to tie people. And I thought he was a little better runner than that. He should have been able to get that for us. Come on, Gabriel.
Oh, it's dropped. Late flag. Don't know what that is.
Oh, they have to call that. He was on his back. Okay.
Did not see that.
I saw them all connected there, but, you know. I just don't think
he wasn't looking. Yeah, that was too many people in the
yeah,
one spot.
To me, that's just not designed well. Not at all.
Man, there's been some good fourth down defense in this quarter. 3 fourth down stops. Good defense.
Yes. They're gang tackling now. That's exactly who they don't want to beat them, Gordon. Make somebody else beat them. If they lose, make somebody else have to step up.
Good defense again, really.
Yes,
that defensive line is playing good.
Yeah, they're beating the offensive line now. You know, I give Oklahoma State credit for having a good offensive line. I've been really studying them. They're really pretty good. Our defense is whipping their butts right now.
Uh-huh. Third down and long.
He took on 2 people. That's just straight up desire.
Oh, wow.
That's just poor tackling.
It looked like he was caught in between trying to go for the interception.
But he had him. All he had to do was slide down and wrap his legs up, Mark.
Yeah, that was bad.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's so busy trying to pull
really
the ball.
High. Still high there.
Yeah, and he's so busy trying to pull the ball out instead of stopping him from getting a first down. That just drives me crazy.
It's a big conversion for them.
Wrap his legs up. See all that high?
Yep. And then
that's the things right there that I can't stomach that. You know, when I was coaching corners, I'd be all over my defense if they try to tackle somebody up high. Be all over them. I mean,
yeah, that's not good technique there.
No, you're not going to tackle not a good athlete. You're not going to tackle him up there. When I tell my guys, when you get there, I want the play over with. I don't want them to get another yard. And I would make them do push-ups and other things. If they tackled anybody above the waist, they would have to pay consequences for that.
All right, Oklahoma State's driving. We're at the end of the third quarter. We'll take a timeout, come back with more here at the Choctaw Casino in Durant.
How they've gotten where they are, and here we go. That'll help. I mean, we've done it, but they still owe us one.
All right, let's welcome in Sooner great Mark Clayton. What up, MC? Where you at?
What up, Marky Mark? Man, I'm out here in Frisco, Texas at a celebrity softball game, man.
Have you gone deep?
I went across home plate. That's what I did.
Okay, that's good. I'm sure you probably got some wheels on the base path, but
wheels work. I'm not hitting for power, that's for sure.
This Bedlam game's been something else today. Have you had a chance to see any of it?
Oh, I've been watching the whole game. I'm actually, it's a celebrity game, so I got my phone. I'm watching the game. I've been watching the entire game, actually.
What do you think so far?
I love where we're at. I think, Oklahoma State came out and just like I'm sure everybody knew, give us everything that they had. Ollie Gordon, big plays early. I just love how we kind of settled into ourselves. We're controlling the game a lot more through the run game. We've had some plays through the air. Stoops has been so steady. That's been huge for us. But I'm enjoying where we're at. Just need to finish.
Hey, Mark, let me ask you a question. This is Thomas Lott. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. Good to hear from you, brother.
Good. Hey, what do you think about the passing game as far as OU? Don't you think we need a little bit more well-designed passing game?
Man, I'm watching this. I think, sadly, the drop, from young Anderson. But I think that completely changes this game. And at the end of the day, when it comes to, I think, an efficient passing game, it is taking shots and then hitting everything in between. I think, so far we've been able to do that with, Stoops has been huge, I think, in helping us control this game. But I'm not mad at where we're at. I think our run game has been very healthy for us. And there's a number of things you could do. But at the end of the day, you want a game where you're stretching the ball, you're hitting intermediate, and then you're making them cover underneath as well.
Mark, what do you think of Drake Stoops?
Tough as net. That's I would say the character of the receiver room, and it's something that you got to have. Somebody who is able to just be constant and steady, making plays, taking hits, doing all those things, blocking. He's just a pillar in the receiver for the team.
This young, good receiving core. You mentioned Nick Anderson. He had the drop earlier in the game, but man, he seems to find the end zone a lot. He's made some big plays so far this year.
Absolutely. The upside for that kid is incredible. For him to step in and be able to have the production that he's had this year is insane. I think nobody's ever caught, so few balls and all of them been essentially touchdowns. Excited for his future as a Sooner and development as a receiver. Somebody that I think we will truly be able to depend on late in games, especially as he gets into, later into his career. But I'm liking Nick and what he's providing for us.
We'll let you get back to playing some of that celebrity softball, man. Thanks for checking in. We'll see you soon.
Yes, sir. Boomer Sooner.
All right.
Take care. Take care, Mark.
At 4th down and 4th and 4 there, and there's been 3 4th down stops already here in the second half. That was a good punt's not a bad play. Oklahoma got him deep in there. The defense has been doing a pretty good job.
Absolutely, and they still owe us a turnover. Why not have one really close to the goal line? So I'm with you on that. This is going to limit what they're going to try to call offensively. It's going to limit it and put pressure on their offensive line, and let's see if they break.
We'll take a break. We'll come back here with Oklahoma State's possession. Sooners are on top in Stillwater. That was a strange play to see Brent go out there on the field. But, man, I don't know about that call. It looked like Owens ran over the defensive back.
Yeah, it kind of looked like that to me also. But I guess at the beginning, I saw his arm stretched out.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to call that if they see your arm. Now, maybe if it's bent elbow-wise, you can get away with it. But if they see that,
created the initial contact there.
Yeah.
Probably. Oh, he's really making some mistakes here.
Yeah, just like they did last week. 35 yards of penalties, and then they get a touchdown. I mean, come on. They go from the 2, and now they're out there.
Big day for Owens.
Two missed tackles, just diving at them.
We'll take a break with them. We'll come back here on Sooners Access and thesportsanimal.com.
Getting so wide open. Goodness gracious. He basically had our defensive back running in a circle.
283 passing. That's his 10th catch today for $136.
Two-time transfer.
Well, that's a good run.
Giving him 8-yard cushion. I mean, come up. I mean, that's a lot of respect. 15, 5, both of them. They're giving him way too much respect, or they're just scared of him.
That's pretty good defense there. Well, they missed him. Great run.
They go from the 2 all the way down the field. Thanks to some penalties
yeah.
also.
Boy, there's 2 missed tackles.
Yeah, just diving. Yeah, that's just horrible, you know. But that's what gets you beat, though. You know, that's what beats you.
This is not good if it's Gentry Williams out. We'll go after this drive. No, we're good. Georgia got a big interception and return. Who do you like in tonight's game? USC, Washington.
I want to see Washington get beat. You know, if OU can win this game, we need everybody undefeated to get beat.
Yeah.
You know, we need that.
There's been some teams today that have been pushed a little bit, but
Yeah.
it looks like they're going to come out on top.
Well, it might not. We got 3 more weeks of regular season, and I don't believe 4 or 5 people are going to be undefeated. I know some other people are going to lose, and Washington needs to be one of them. You know, that's just the way it is. If OU's going to have any kind of chance, first they need to win the conference. If they can't win the conference, they don't need of us talking about no national.
Right.
I don't talk about it because your first goal is to win your conference championship. And with the garbage of a playoff system that we have now, you know, then you have to depend on what people think. Next year, there'll be a different story. You know, you one of the top 12 teams, you got a chance to prove that on the field. Then nobody can say anything. But this year we still need help. Even if we win the rest of our games,
right,
we're still gonna need help.
Right.
You know, so as far as I'm concerned, Washington needs to not be undefeated. You know, I'm sure even if Washington was undefeated, I mean not undefeated and lost 1, and OU only lost 1, they'd still put Washington ahead of OU. They still would do that.
Yeah,
but at least they have a chance for one of the other spots.
Yeah. Washington will still have some other tough games too.
Yeah. I really think Oregon is a really good football team.
Yeah, I agree. I thought that they could have won that game that they had at Washington earlier in the year.
Yeah, I was surprised, and they might get to play them again if they keep going the direction they're going.
Right.
You know.
Right. All right, Cowboys.
Now they know that was not catchable.
If you have to take a pass interference penalty from the 1 yard line on first down, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, any down.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, as long as you can live for that next play.
Yeah.
You know, if you're getting beat, I just assume you go ahead, get a penalty, especially there.
That's a 1 yard penalty.
Yeah, exactly.
Holding him.
I don't know why the quarterback could have threw it over there to the corner and nobody was over there. All right, defensive line. Yeah.
Touchdown.
That's okay. We can live with that. You just have to get back out there offensively and move the ball down the field. We need to do the exact same thing they just did.
It's been a game of changing momentum all
Yes,
day.
it has been. Like I said, though, they still owe us a turnover.
Well, we're going to take a break here, and we're going to leave you from Sooners Access here at Durant. We appreciate everybody that's watched today. We also appreciate all of the texts and the phone or the texts that have come in today and the questions, and we look forward to doing this even more, bigger, and better in the future. Thomas, it's always great to talk to you and
pleasure,
hang out,
Mark.
soak up some of that knowledge.
We go way back.
That you are bringing here to the show today, and we'll get ready for the post-game show coming up here on the Sports Animal, which should be pretty live after this win tonight in Bedlam. We're signing off here from Choctaw Casino in Durant.